And again, welcome to Interfaith Spiritual Center Worldwide. You are not here by chance. We're all here by divine appointment. Do you agree? Yes. We heard the call and we answered. If you tuned in at this moment, this message is for you. And as we gather today and we acknowledge it's a whole new world, it's a whole new world every moment of our day. And that as we open to the universe is already opened to us. And there's so many amazing discoveries that are taking place. And that Homo sapien is no longer appropriate. Homo spiritus, Homo universalis. That we have lifted ourselves from that animal nature to the spiritual nature. That the separation between spirit and matter no longer exists according to quantum physicists. It is the God particle, ever present in everything, no matter what we choose to call it. And as you know, last year I was on a speaking tour, a World Peace speaking tour, as the president of the International Foundation for World Peace and Research. And everywhere I went, we spoke at the University of Istanbul Medical Center. And it was so interesting because I was talking about oneness, and I was talking about world peace. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. And we have raised it to a higher octave when we complete each service. Let there be love on earth, and let it begin with me. With God as our Father, Mother God, united all are we. It is that interconnection that is what Emerson called the ever-expanding circle. Life, he said, is an ever-expanding circle, imperceptibly small at first, reaching outward in ever-widening circles, touching everything. And when I was speaking at the University of Istanbul and talking about our oneness, it was really interesting because Dr. Dani Shumad, who is one of our doctors, Doctors Without Borders, and he has a practice at Madonna University in Nigeria. He is an OB/GYN. He is an obstetrician and gynecologist, and he helps all the women, delivered 5,000 babies so far. Amazing, amazing. And he's created this medical center there on grounds at Madonna University in Alili, Nigeria, Africa. Amazing. And he was born in Tehran. And he was feeling uncomfortable, so in the middle of my talk, if you can imagine, he jumped up to whisper, "You're speaking to a group of Muslims." And I said, what Dr. Shumad needed to tell me was, I'm speaking to a group of Muslims. Now, he's a master of the obvious. And of course, everyone laughed. And we lightened the energy. And I said, I think it's wonderful that your Muslim faith, when I'm out and about here in Istanbul and I hear the call to prayer, there is something within me at a DNA cellular level that I respond and I go into prayer. It is an energy. It is a light. It is this divine signal where we can go within to the secret place of the Most High and pray to our Father, Mother, God in secret, as Jesus said, and know that we are rewarded openly, that I am speaking about the threat of oneness here that moves beyond color, race, creed, and religion. I'm speaking of that place in which we greet one another. I'm speaking of that place of coming together and the three precepts of peace: mediation, reconciliation, and sacrament, because our daily life is our temple and our religion. And then we went on to the University of Croatia. And it was interesting. And I really didn't think of it in this way, but RJ brought to my attention that they had this amazing model of the whole city. And we were like the three gods. Dr. Miroslav Prostasic, who is the professor at Zagreb University in Croatia, we're looking down at the whole city, the three gods, looking at this amazing city. There it is, a model of the city, within the city. But each and every one of us are gods. We are co-creators with the energy of the universe. When we talk about a whole new world every single day of our lives, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. That is a conscious decision. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. That in an instant, I can change my mind. In an instant, I can let it all go. And this is the season of nonviolence. It started yesterday, and it goes for a couple of months. And it goes for 120 days, I believe. And it's where Gandhi and King, and February being Black History Month, and coming together to acknowledge that there is a power for good in the universe greater than we are, and we really can use it for the greater good. And in this recognition, when Gandhi took his stand, it was because he was in South Africa on his way to Pretoria. And he had a first-class ticket. And a white gentleman saw him, and he went to the conductor and said, he's in first class, get him out of here. And so Gandhi, he said, you'll have to leave. You don't have to go back to the fourth class because you are a colored person. And Gandhi said, I have a first-class ticket. And he said, it doesn't matter. And Gandhi said, I refuse. And they took him and they just shoved him off the train with his little bag. And he said, I sat there shivering all night long. He said, I had thoughts of vengeance. I had unkind thoughts. And at 3 in the morning, my moment of truth came. That moment of truth is, I shall take a stand on equality. I shall take a stand for the brotherhood of man. I will take a stand on a nonviolent level. His moment of truth. He immobilized an entire nation without firing a single shot. He was a great inspiration for Martin Luther King, who learned about civil disobedience. And when I spoke with the dean of Moorhead College, which is specifically a black college, and I spoke with him a few years ago, and I said, well, you know that Gandhi, his inspiration was Emerson. He said, I didn't know that. Yes, civil disobedience came when Emerson refused to pay taxes to a government that adhered to slavery and enforced it. And when Ralph Waldo Emerson was in jail, his dear, dear friend Thoreau, Henry David Thoreau, came to visit him and said, Ralph, what are you doing in there? He said, no, not what am I doing in here. What are you doing out there that you would pay taxes to a government that would enforce slavery? And he refused to pay taxes. He made his stand, civil disobedience, that shifted and changed. Laws change as the evolution of consciousness changes. We are in the world. We are in the world at such a level. I mean, at such a level. In the ancient Hindi talked about samsara, where we get up in the morning, we go through our daily round, and then he said there's a fine line from samsara, our daily round, and getting up in the morning and doing whatever we do, and coming home at night. The daily round, there is a very fine line between samsara and nirvana, which is the highest level of heaven on earth that we can attain to. So to make that shift for a whole new world is when we are tempted to react, to step back a moment and remember all those who have gone before us. And this Wednesday night, Judy Kelly will be speaking about the Ascended Masters and tapping into the energy of the Ascended Masters. When I was 3 years old, not even quite 3, I remember in my little bed, I had a window above the bed. And on the wall, my mother had tacked a picture of a little girl with flowers to Mother Mary and the child, Jesus. She had just tacked it up on the wall. And I remember it clearly, and I still have it. And through the window, a being of light used to talk to me in the form of a rabbit. Now, I never told anyone that because, you know, they would look at me askance and think, you know, we knew she was a little different before. Now it's confirmed. And you know what? Metaphysicians are the largest group of non-joiners on the planet. They don't know that there is a community that believes and teaches and evokes energy in the way that we do. And then we find each other and we join. We join because we've always been interconnected. The inter-spiritual connection. That in Indra's net, in the ancient Hindi, remember Indra is the god of creation, right? Indra's net. If you look at a spider web, you'll see all the beautiful, beautiful little pearls. Looks like dewdrops. But in Indra's net, they're pearls. And if you look into one pearl, you see a reflection of all the others. If I look into your eyes, I see the reflection of every human being on the planet. I see our oneness, not our differences. We gather together through our similarities. We grow through our differences. And as we look out over a world, as we did in Zagreb, Croatia, as the three gods, and remember, the three gods, they got together and they were going to conspire. They thought, oh, this great gift for humanity, the gift of choice. Where shall we hide it? The one little god said, oh, I will take it down to the furthest part of the sea. The second god said, oh no, man will create inventions, many inventions, and he will find it there. But I know we will take it to the highest mountaintop. There man will not find it. The third god said, no, man is very, very cunning. He will devise something to get up the highest mountaintop, and he will find the greatest gift, the pearl of great price. He said, I know. Let us hide it within man. There man will never look. There man will never look. Go within to the secret place of the Most High. That place is within each and every one of us. A whole new world. Mediation, reconciliation, and sacrament. That little formula is in the Charity Peace Model, which I have talked about all over the world. From Croatia, we went to London, to the School of African and Asian Studies. And we spoke about the energy of oneness and the opportunity that we have to move beyond differences. Because when the great astronaut, Neil Armstrong, looked out and took that picture of Earth, there were no borders. There was just this amazing, amazing sphere of light and energy and color and warmth. That world is within us. And there's an ancient Japanese legend, and it's about, long, long ago, about a little mouse family that lived in the bottom of a cellar of a great mansion. And one day, Father Mouse said, we must marry our maiden, our Chuko, our daughter mouse, to the most powerful being on the planet. No one is worthy of her hand except the most powerful being on the planet. Mother Mouse, let us put our heads together. Who is the most powerful being on the planet? The sun is the most powerful being on the planet. He went out and said, called to Mr. Sun, oh, Mr. Sun, you are the most powerful being on the planet. You must marry our dear, fair, beautiful, intelligent Chuko, our daughter mouse. And Mr. Sun said, ah, alas, I am not the most powerful being on the planet. Mr. Cloud is more powerful than I am. He comes and covers me with his white blanket, and I can no longer be seen. Mr. Cloud is more powerful than I. Ah, then I shall seek out Mr. Cloud. Mr. Cloud! Ah, you are the most powerful being in the universe. You are worthy to marry our daughter mouse. And Mr. Cloud said, oh, thank you. But I am not the most powerful being on the planet. For when Mr. Wind comes, he scatters me to the heavens. Mr. Wind is the most powerful being in the universe. Ah, then I shall seek out Mr. Wind. Goes to Mr. Wind. Ah, the breezes, the energy. Mr. Wind, you are the most powerful being in the universe. You are worthy to marry our daughter mouse. And Mr. Wind says, ah, alas, I am not the most powerful being on the planet in the universe. Because when I come against Mr. Wall, I can't penetrate. And I bounce off Mr. Wall. Mr. Wall is the most powerful being in the universe. And Father Mouse went to Mr. Wall and called out to Mr. Wall, you are the most powerful being in the universe, Mr. Wall. You are worthy to marry our daughter Mouse Chuko. And alas, Mr. Wall said, I am not the most powerful being in the universe. No? Who is? He said, you see, little mice eat away at my wall and my sides, and they escape through me. So I am not the most powerful being in the universe. Mouse is the most powerful being in the universe. Then I shall go next door to the young mouse, and I shall ask him to marry our beautiful daughter, Chuko. And therein lies the story. The thing we're looking for, we're looking with. We keep looking outside of ourselves, thinking it's outside of ourselves. But there we are, the most powerful beings in the universe, because we are co-creators with that energy that we choose to call God, life, nature. That energy that allows us to come forth every single day of our lives and know, be not conformed to the things of this world. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. It's a whole new world. It's an opportunity that we have to come forth in this brand new year and to make a new commitment that we are part of the collective consciousness. And when we are part of that collective consciousness, and we know it, then something is shifted within us. And we recognize that we don't have to go outside of ourselves. That it's right where we are. At 2.5 or 3 years old, when I was getting my messages, I received those messages from a being that I could understand at 3 years old. And it seemed perfectly natural to me that there was a talking rabbit at the window sharing about the mysteries of the universe, and that I was put in that alcoholic home for a reason. And that reason was to grow and to evolve and to serve a greater purpose. And I heard those messages, and they were imprinted on my heart. And as we come together today as part of this community, I know that something great and wonderful is going on, and that each and every one of us is a vital part of it, because we are going somewhere. Do you know where it is? Higher yet. Where is it? Higher yet. Where is it? Higher yet. And so it is. God bless you. I love you.